Hey y'all, it's me, Lynn Daniel, coming to you today. It is Saturday, September 6, 2014, and it's early in the morning. It's like in the 8 o'clock hour. Yeah, you all, summer is pretty much gone. Summer's an old lady now. She's still around, but she only has like a few more weeks to go, and oh my gosh, yeah. This morning is drabby. It rained yesterday. We had a summer-like week with 80s, 90s. 80s in the morning, 90s by noon, and hundreds by 3. But I'm going to miss the summer. The summer is a very refreshing time of respite and reflection, and it's an opportunity for me to rest my body and just do like away from the commitments of my dailiness. It allows me to just expand myself in ways, creativity or creatively, and even think on things that aren't necessarily heavily, well, yeah, they're all interconnected, but it allows me to put my focus and my thoughts on something other than instruction and behavior management and classroom management and literacy. Well, no, literacy is always in there, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to miss summer. I took a long time to just say, I'm going to miss summer. Ugh. But autumn is just as beautiful. Oh my goodness. Autumn is, especially like when the leaves start turning. Oh my goodness. The changes, the seasons of change. So this video is just me checking in to say hi and just to talk a little bit about my week, answer a few questions that I received, and talk about just life in general, I guess. Some of the topics are for adult ears only. I would think, well, at least I'm thinking I may get to that, but you never know. I may figure the video is too long and I may not get to that. But I wanted to talk a little bit about in a previous video I had mentioned like how to improve ghetto schools, or something that's in the title. I had just touched on how urban schools seem to have moved away. Now, back in the day when I was in high school, I was a product of St. Louis City Public Schools. There was a whole high school dedicated for not technology, but technical skills. There was a technical skills. It was called, I forget the name of it. Yeah, but it was a technical high school where kids could go either half the day or the full day and learn a technical, hands-on, hard skill. And then they closed that school in, I think, the early 1980s or something. And so many of the urban districts just, and I'm speaking across the United States, I think many of the urban districts and the older suburban districts pretty much dismantled their technical programs. Now in the St. Louis area, we still have, under the special school district system, we have technical high schools where students can attend, and then they graduate. Many of them graduate with certificates of career readiness, and that's a great thing, because people need to have the ability to be employable in jobs with promise, not dead-end jobs, because man draws, like my great-grandmother used to say, there's nothing worse than seeing a man with a bowed down head, a head bowed down with shame or worry, or a lack of self-worth. And when you enable your hands, when you teach your hands to be skillful and gainfully employable, that brings the esteem of a man up, and because he's able to provide for himself and he's able to provide for his children. And when you see men who are sitting around or standing around and they're idle, those men are broken men. They're broken men. And that's my 2 cents on that. But ask them how they feel, or have a conversation with them about the state of their life and the state of their emotional well-being, and then you determine if they're broken or not. But So yeah, it's so important to be skillfully adept in something. Now, this week we were studying, in my studies, we were studying professional development and how to increase capacity for learning and knowledge and skill sets and all of that for on-the-job training for teachers. I know every career has on-the-job training. Every career. Even fast food restaurants, which are really becoming, those jobs are becoming coveted jobs for many people with low skill ability, because people with high skill ability are taking those jobs because they lost their other high skill job. So yeah, but anyway, in the studies, it was emphasizing various structures that schools can use in school districts, systematic changes and protocols and, frameworks of thinking about your employees and what you want them to do and where you all are going as an entity, as an educational entity. So it was saying that, different formats to use to increase the knowledge, the learning, the application of the skills in the classroom to improve learning. And so on-the-job training is called job embedded training. I think I know it's important. I know it's important. Had I not received all of the years of support on the job that I do and the career that I do, I would not be able to do it as well as I do it this year. And every year I get better and better and better. You know why? Because I push myself to get better through reflection, through collaboration, through studies, through talking to people, through mentoring, through professional associations and all of those tools. Because you just don't learn and then you just rest on your laurels. You ask any medical person, you ask any doctor or dentist or health physician's assistant or healthcare worker if what they learned in college was enough. Even if they have a post undergrad degree, they have a graduate level degree. Ask them if that is enough. It's not. So no matter what your job is, you're going to have to be able to compete, and you're going to have to get some on-the-job training. And your employer or your company should be positioned to provide that. And many of them are, Many of them, I think the majority of American companies are. I mean, the quality of it may be a question, but it's definitely. So yeah, if those of you who were asking, I had questions about why I became a teacher, what was I, did I want to be a teacher? What was I expecting? Have I been disappointed? I originally thought I was going to be an attorney. I had always in high school, pretty much, maybe 7th and 8th grade possibly was the beginning of me even considering that career. But in high school, the high school I attended, I had classmates whose parents had an array of interesting careers. I had a friend whose dad was an administrator of a medical center. I had a friend whose dad was an airline pilot. I had a friend whose mom was an airline stewardess. I had friends who relatives were in politics, in government, the mayor of cities, and elected officials, teachers, administrators of schools, blue-collar workers like my dad was, and so I had an array of friends to just kind of have those models and to see that possibility of a young black girl who could be more than just a secretary. I mean, a secretary is good because secretaries run the show. Without a good secretarial system or administrative assistant, that ship ain't going too far. It's going to stop. But for me, I was a secretary as as a teenager. That was my like summer job, and I did it for I think a year, over the course of a whole year, and I enjoyed it. One summer I did simply just record keeping. That was boring, but I really enjoyed the secretarial work because I was front and center in the administrative office, and I was busy putting out little fires or addressing people's concerns. And I was like 16 years old, and I felt, wow, this is empowering. So yeah, but then I began to see more for myself, and I really thought I was going to become an attorney. Now, I don't know why. I think I liked the prestige of being an attorney. I liked the fact that they were in books and thinking, and they went to court, many of them. And so I was enthralled by the flamboyancy, if you will. I mean, even in the movies that I would like to watch back then, the lawyers were in court flamboyantly arguing their case, or, you know. So, yeah. So I was just kind of in love with the image of an attorney. I never really did anything to pursue it, like do an internship or, you know, I just didn't. Then at one point I thought I was going to be a news reporter. So I was doing things in that direction. I even studied journalism for a while and found out I don't really like how they're doing it. I didn't like, the teacher was, so anyway. So yeah, I let that go, but not really. Did I really? Because everything I do now, I vlog, I constantly write, I turn my blog back on, my Lynn Danielle Treasure Diva blog on blogspot.com. So I'm constantly writing and reporting about the issues of the world and of life. And so I'm just a citizen journalist. I'm no official journalist. So yeah, so get you some skill that you want to perfect and base your life on, and make yourself skillfully, competitively employable people. Yeah, young people, especially young people. And then those of us who are up here in years, you know, mature, you know, life ain't over. We can always continue to rebound. It really depends on how stubborn you are, or how flexible you are and resilient you are, you know. If you're a resilient soul, you're going to bounce back, and you're going to get back in the game, and you're going to go out there and pursue some training and go for it, or start your own business or something. So this video is going to be a little bit of hodgepodge of everything. So someone had asked me why I wanted to be, and y'all, if I can remember the names of the people who asked me these questions, I will post them. But these questions come from my videos that I have posted earlier in the year, or, you know, all my videos. And so there are lots of interesting questions on those videos. So I just felt like, you know, well, you know. So someone had asked me, see, I done lost my train of thought. See, I done lost my train of thought. But yeah, you can always go back and see that. But someone had asked me about starting a business. Like, why did I do Empower Network? Why was I trying to start like a home business? Well, aside from the fact that my career, I mean, you have a contracted amount of earnings that you make, and it would be nice if I could supplement the earnings. I'm not complaining, but I'm just simply, you know, and then I'm not being greedy either. But it would be nice if I could supplement my job earnings with a career like a business, entrepreneurship. So I tried a few things, and they just never really worked, because I guess they're just not the right ones for me, or I don't have, I just don't have what it takes in those particular, because I mean, you got to be honest with yourself. If you aren't successful then part of it is you, and part of it could be the system or what's required to be successful in that structure. And maybe that's just not for me. So I think I got the entrepreneurial buzz from my grandpa, because my grandfather had his own business. He was he had a newspaper route. He was like a newspaper man, really. And he handled all of North St. Louis, which is a large demographic. The city of North St. Louis, not the county area. He may have even expanded out there, but I'm not sure. But I do know he handled all of North St. Louis. I used to help him do the books when I was in elementary and middle school, like 7th and 8th grade. And he was very successful. He hired neighborhood guys to stuff the papers, he would call it. They would come over on Saturdays, and in the basement of their home, they would stuff the paper, the entertainment section, with the ads, and then they would stuff that section into the main section of the paper. And my sister, my aunt, and I would be spying on the guys, because some of them were cute. Not all of them, but we would spy on the guys. So I think that's where I got that entrepreneurial drive from, just seeing my grandfather be successful and work hard. I mean, he had a full-time job with the post office, but he worked that business. He had his truck, he had his workers, and then it just got, the guys just got kind of, it just became, I guess, time to sell the business. So he sold, the family sold the business when he passed, either before he passed or after he passed. The business had been sold. So, so that's what I'm doing, y'all. Now, I was going to talk about, and maybe I will. This is 16, 17 minutes. Okay, so I had gotten a question about, it was more like on a personal level, okay? So if you have any children in the room, you may want to dismiss them at this time. So it was talking about intimacy, single women, intimacy, sex, and those types of things, sex toys and that. Well, they didn't directly ask me about sex toys, but that was just kind of coming from a stream on Facebook, so I'm going to throw it in here. But sex toys, okay, that's not my thing. First off, I have chosen a lifestyle that works for me at this point in time in my life. And because I'm single, I just choose to walk in this way that I have chosen for myself at this time in my life. Now, when I choose not to be single, then that will change. But at this moment, I don't need any sex toys. I don't need any of that, because I am really just allowing my body to be solo or quiet or in a restorative state, I'll say. Some folks call it abstinence, but I'm saying a restorative state, because when you've been with someone since you were 19 years old, even through the ups and downs, you've been with someone that long, and now I'm 119, your soul needs to heal. At least my soul needed to heal. My soul needed to heal. My body needed to heal. So I'm allowing that to take place. Now, I know it's been a while, but I have chosen this for me. And yeah, I'll get it. Look, I ain't got to go all deep, right? But sex toys is not my thing. I really think sex toys can be unsanitary. Now, this is just I think sex toys can lead to, depending on how they're made and used, they look scary to me. They look like they would hurt. Inserting something with all kind of spiky things, and I've seen them because I'm a member of Groupon, and Groupon even sells these sex toys for women, and something goes up one hole and some goes up the other. That is unsanitary to me. This is me about myself. You do what you want to do, but I'm talking about for me. So, I just prefer no. Right now, I'm just preferring to walk in restorative peace right now, and then once I decide that I'm out of this phase, then things will be fine for me. But not with that. And that was really it. I mean, that wasn't too raunchy or anything, but I don't think it's for kids to hear. Yeah. All right, y'all. So this is a 20-minute video. Please go back and view my other videos from this week. I have some just 1-minute videos, you know, about what I did and a little innocent, you know, in the park and stuff like that, mowing the lawn and all that. So, all right. So thank you for stopping by. Be blessed. Have a blessed weekend. Love you. Bye.